Welcome to a new episode of Dark Nature, the channel where we reveal the mysteries and curiosities of planet Earth. Our journey begins in late January, 1959. 10 young, experienced hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute depart for an ambitious expedition across the northern Urals. They are vibrant, athletic, and full of life, led by the charismatic Igor Dyatlov. But as the train disappears into the white horizon, they have no idea they are heading toward a grave of ice. Fate is a strange architect. Shortly after the trek begins, one member, Yuri Yudin, falls ill with a chronic nerve condition. In a heartbreaking moment of goodbye, he embraces his friends and turns back. He will be the only survivor of the Dyatlov group, haunted for the rest of his life by a question: why was he spared while his friends marched into the mouth of the mountain? By early February, 1959, the group is deep in the Siberian taiga. The temperatures drop to 30 degrees below zero. They follow the Lozva River, moving toward their ultimate goal, Mount Otorten. In the local Mansi language, Otorten means, "Don't go there." It is a warning from the ancients that the students are about to ignore. On February 1, 1959, the group loses their way during a blinding snowstorm. Instead of descending into the forest for shelter, Igor Dyatlov decides to set up camp right on the exposed slope of Kholat Syakhl. To the Mansi people, this place is known as the Mountain of the Dead. It is a decision that historians and experts still struggle to understand. Why stay on the open mountain, vulnerable to the elements? They eat a late dinner, write in their journals, and share jokes. The final photograph found in their cameras shows a peaceful scene, a group of friends settling in for the night. There is no sign of panic, no hint of a threat. But outside that thin canvas wall, something is shifting in the darkness. Something the mountain has been hiding for centuries. Days pass into weeks. The group was expected to send a telegram by February 12, 1959. Back in Sverdlovsk, families begin to worry. The silence from the mountains is deafening. By the 20th of February, the Soviet authorities yield to the families' pleas and launch a massive search and rescue operation involving planes, helicopters, and soldiers. On February 26, 1959, searchers finally spot the camp on the slope of Dead Mountain. As they approach, a clue goes down their spines. The tent is collapsed, covered in snow, and appears abandoned. It stands as a lonely monument to a disaster they cannot yet see. But the true horror is discovered when they look closer at the fabric. The tent had been slashed open, but not from the outside. Forensic analysis would later confirm it was cut from the inside with a knife. Something had terrified the hikers so much that they didn't even have time to unfasten the entrance. They cut their way out, fleeing into the night in a state of absolute desperation. Following the tracks, the searchers find something even more disturbing. In temperatures of 30 degrees below zero, the hikers fled in their socks, or completely barefoot. 9 sets of footprints leading down the slope toward a cedar tree at the forest's edge. They were walking, not running, as if they were in a trance or being led away by an invisible force. Under the cedar tree, they find the first 2 bodies, Yuri Doroshenko and Yuri Krivonischenko. They are nearly naked, wearing only shirts and socks. Their hands are charred and raw. The branches of the tree are broken high up, as if they had tried to climb it to escape something on the ground. But what could be more terrifying than freezing to death in the Siberian night? The search was just beginning, and the mountain was about to reveal its most macabre secret. As the searchers move further into the woods, they find the rest of the group, but these bodies aren't just frozen. They are broken. Bones crushed with the force of a car crash, yet without a single bruise on their skin. What kind of unknown force could kill like that? As the sun rises over the Mountain of the Dead, searchers find Igor Dyatlov, Zinaida Kolmogorova, and Rustam Slobodin. They are spread out in the snow, lying between the tree and the tent. Their position suggests they were desperately trying to crawl back to the safety of their camp before the cold claimed them. But the question remains, what drove them away from their only source of warmth in the first place? It takes 2 more months for the snow to melt enough to reveal the final 4 hikers. They are found in a ravine, deeper into the forest. They are wearing pieces of clothing taken from their dead friends under the cedar tree. They were fighting to survive until the very end, but their bodies tell a story far more violent than simple hypothermia. The autopsies of the final 4 victims shocked the medical examiners. Ludmila Dubinina and Semyon Zolotaryov have massive chest fractures, their ribs crushed as if by a high-speed car crash. Yet, there are no external bruises or soft tissue damage. It is as if an invisible force applied immense pressure directly to their internal organs. Then, the details become truly macabre. Ludmila Dubinina is missing her tongue, her eyes, and part of her facial tissue. While some attribute this to scavengers, the precision of the loss and the lack of other animal marks leave a lingering sense of dread. The Soviet authorities are quick to label the cause of death as an unknown compelling force. Mystery piles upon mystery. Tests on the clothing of the ravine victims reveal high levels of radioactivity. Where did it come from? There were no nuclear facilities in the area in 1959. The presence of radiation only fuels the growing suspicion that the hikers stumbled upon something the Soviet government wanted to keep hidden. Another group of hikers miles away reported seeing strange, orange spheres, in the sky on the night of the disaster. These orbs were also witnessed by the local Mansi people and even military personnel. Did these lights play a role in the panic? Were they part of a secret weapons test, or something from beyond our world? One modern theory suggests a phenomenon called infrasound. The wind blowing over the dome of the mountain could have created a frequency below the human hearing range that triggers intense, uncontrollable panic. Could a sound they couldn't even hear have driven them to slash their own tent and run into the frozen night? For others, the answer lies in local folklore. The Mansi legends tell of the Menk, a giant, powerful creature that guards the mountains. The internal crushing injuries without external marks are exactly what hunters say happens when a mink strikes a human. Did the group encounter a predator that modern science refuses to acknowledge? In May 1959, the case was abruptly closed. The files were sent to secret archives, and the area was restricted for years. Though the Russian government reopened the case recently and blamed a freak avalanche, many questions remain. An avalanche doesn't explain the radiation, the missing tongue, or the orange orbs. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains a scar on the history of exploration. 9 lives lost to a force we still cannot name. Were they victims of nature, science, or something far more ancient? The Mountain of the Dead keeps its secrets well. Subscribe to Dark Nature as we continue to hunt for the truth in the world's darkest corners. Stay safe, and never ignore the warnings of the mountain.